There. Okay, perfect. So we're going to crack on. Today we're going to talk to you about all things AI. We'll be showcasing some kind of powerful AI tools that can really help you boost productivity, unleash kind of creativity, and drive sales for your business. Quick little intro into who Wagada are. So we're an award-winning digital marketing agency with a specialist team of, a growing team across 3 different offices in London, Cheltenham, and St Albans, which is where Luca and I are based today. But we kind of pride ourselves on making the complex simple. So we're really a full-service kind of digital marketing agency, offering everything businesses kind of need in one place. And we have kind of 4 key services. So digital marketing and AI marketing. So that's everything from your search engine optimization through to social media. We also offer web development, employer branding, and CRM. So we're HubSpot Platinum partners as well. And we really, over the years, have worked with a range of B2B and B2C clients across, a range of sectors. And over those years, we've really built a kind of international client base, working with kind of big, ambitious businesses who are focused on growth objectives. Little bit about me before we crack on. You'll hear the Yorkshire twang as I speak throughout this. So yeah, Yorkshire born and bred. I'm a big animal lover, cinema buff, travel enthusiast, I would say. But outside of work, we're not here to talk about outside of work, we're talking about inside of work. And I have 11 years plus marketing experience with a kind of key specialism in SEO, so getting people businesses found online. And 9 of those years have actually been at Wagada Digital. So I head up the team of specialists across kind of SEO and content and PPC. But in terms of AI, it really, truly kind of fascinates me. And ever since the kind of the release of ChatGPT back in November 2022, I've really kind of developed a keen interest in AI to try and improve the agency's efficiency, productivity, creativity and decision making. And I kind of head up the AI department at Wagada now as well. And I will pass on to Luca just to intro himself.
Thank you, Dee. So I am Luca, and I'm the digital marketing apprentice at Wagada. So I've been here for about a year and a half, and yeah, I've been getting stuck in with all things digital marketing, and taken quite a keen interest in AI. And yeah, so I've been helping Dee out quite a lot with testing out new tools, seeing what could work on a business aspect. And yeah, so today I'm going to be demoing a couple different tools, ChatGPT and Midjourney. So yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, Luca. So like I said, I'm very conscious of time and only having an hour to get through what feels like a very broad topic. So we really wanted to focus this kind of webinar on showcasing you the tools, helping you get the most out of them. But then also we'd really recommend viewing our other webinars where we kind of go into additional AI insights. So, how to identify AI opportunities in your role, how you guys can go away and map out business use cases for AI. And we also have very specific webinars on, AI for SEO. So we have a load of resources on the Wagada website, and we're also very open to delivering more webinars on a specific topic that's kind of very interested in the business. So like I said, we're going to explore some key tools, three key tools as a starting point. And Luca's going to live demo some of those with the likes of ChatGPT and Midjourney. We'll also be referencing the phrase prompt or prompting throughout this webinar. And when we say prompt, we mean asking or instructing an AI tool to do something. So, if you've ever asked the likes of ChatGPT, for example, to do something for you and got a bit of a rubbish response, it's probably because you're not prompting it effectively. So we'll be really sharing some kind of top prompting tips for you as well to help you get the most out of the AI tools today. And finally, we're aware that a lot of AI comes with a lot of questions and concerns. It's really very much a new technology that some businesses and employees are very wary of. So we'll touch on some of the kind of biggest questions around AI, kind of copyright, cybersecurity, bits like that. And just to caveat, I want to be clear that, I'm very aware that AI isn't perfect, and we're not here to say it is flawless. But it's not going away. So our kind of goal is really to try and provide a balanced view and highlight the benefits of AI that it can bring to businesses. So yeah, there's a lot to cover. So we'll do a Q&A at the end of the session. So feel free to ask questions as we go. And no question is a silly question. We're all here to learn. So let's start with the AI marketing tool landscape. What tools are out there to really support you in completing your daily, weekly, or monthly tasks? Really kind of navigating through the noise when it comes to discovering AI tools can be really tricky. There's so many tools and apps out there that are kind of just reskinned inferior versions of kind of big players like ChatGPT. So like I said, it'd be really impossible for us to kind of cover all the available tools that are out there. And we're open to kind of running additional webinars on a specific tool that might be of interest to you. But let's start with ChatGPT, which is the most widely used AI tool at the moment. So what ChatGPT is, it's a language AI tool. And businesses who are looking to explore language AI can make use of that technology to support them in conducting kind of hundreds of tasks in a day-to-day role. So whether that is market research or competitor research, things like ideation for kind of blog topics for your website, for example, even so much as copywriting or even translation and kind of many more aspects there. But I'm now going to hand over to Luca, who's going to give you a bit of a demo in ChatGPT.
Thank you, Dee. So here we are. So can everyone see my screen now? I believe
Yeah,
everyone should see
I can
that.
see that,
Is that
Luca.
all good? Okay. Okay, perfect. So, of course, as many of you know and have probably used before, ChatGPT, this is the prompt box. So this is where you're going to be putting in all of your queries to help generate a response with ChatGPT. So from anything, market research, blog ideation, um, data analysis. I'm going to be showing you a little bit of everything today. So showing you some of the main tools and capabilities of ChatGPT. So I just wanted to quickly touch on deep research, which might actually be something that you haven't used before, as it's quite a new tool. And essentially, I did run a little research task before for ChatGPT, and I asked it to help me research emerging digital marketing trends in the UK FMCG sector, such as the role in AI in personalizing comms to social media trends that are emerging in the industry. So what it's done is it's actually crawled the internet and it's found 26 different sources that it's cited from a massive research piece here. Something that could be a great start to some competitor analysis or some market research. So yeah, so this is one of the new features that ChatGPT has got, and I'd say definitely one of the most useful for a marketing perspective and just in general when you're doing research, something that might take you hours and hours to actually get all of this information. ChatGPT is actually able to get everything with your context, and this took about 8 minutes to do all of that, and you could be doing something else during that time. So now I'm going to dive in straight away into Canvas, and I'm going to use it in the context of creating an email with a little bit of extra information. So what I've done here is I've provided ChatGPT with a little explanation of what I need. And by using Canvas, what I can do is actually it's opened up a document on the right side of the screen. And this is going to allow me to, first of all, edit it live, just as if I was in a Google Doc or a Word document. And I can also speak with ChatGPT on the left to make different suggestions. So for example, let's say I want to change the main body of the email. I can ask ChatGPT to lengthen it, and make more friendly. And this could be for anything. So what it's done is it's changing specifically the part that I've asked it to change. So a couple different use cases here could be you've created a blog, but you want ChatGPT to assist in making it more aligned with your tone of voice. So you could do that. You could put in your whole blog, and then you could ask ChatGPT to help make suggestions, improve the spelling and grammar, stuff like that. So this is a great feature, quite a new feature. I'm not sure if anyone would have used it before, but essentially all you have to do is you press the three dots, go into Canvas, and there it is. So you can use that for any of your prompting. So next, what I want to do is, of course, ChatGPT can actually read PDFs. So let's say I've got to read a whole industry report and make some suggestions or carry out the research for my company. So what I've done is I've put in a Kantar report here, and I've added that extra context that ChatGPT is going to use to be able to tailor my response exactly to how I want it. So I'm going to run this now, and it's going to read the document. So specifically, I want to highlight here that highlight specific sections that would be of use to a digital marketing agency working mainly with B2B businesses. So what it's done is this could be like a 30-page report, and it's extracted all of that information, and it's given me relevant extractions and stats that are actually going to be useful for my business. So I could use that for creating a presentation, to pitching something to a client, and it's all about being able to collate all of that information and provide something that's actually going to be contextually relevant for me. So instead of just asking it to do research from all over the internet, I can put in specific resources that I want it to reference and take extractions out of. And what it's going to do is it's provided me with a range of different takeaways and next steps specifically for my business. So that was PDF analysis, and that could be done in honestly any industry. Of course, I'm using it in the context of marketing, but this could be for anything from finance to legal. So as well as being able to read PDFs, what ChatGPT is able to do as well is it can read spreadsheets. So let's say I've got a massive set of unstructured marketing data. What I can do is I can ask ChatGPT to analyze all of that. So I can just drag in my data. And of course, like this is a massive set of mock data that potentially I'm not 100% sure what to do with, or it's going to take me a lot of time to extract the relevant takeaways. So what it's going to do, it's going to analyze the document using Python, which I haven't got a clue how it works, but that's the thing. ChatGPT is great with using code as well, so it's going to use code to analyze all of that and take out the relevant insights. So as you can see, it's assimilated all of the data into different channels, and it's helped me to properly streamline that data in a way that I can understand. So here it's actually allowed me to download the structured Excel file. So I can click that, going to start the downloads, and then I can use that to use that in a document, or suggest next steps, or just use it as an aid to my normal job. I don't want ChatGPT to do all of the work for me, but instead it's allowed me to save time doing those monotonous tasks. So that was Excel sheet analysis. But now what I'm going to do is, let's say I work for an e-commerce company and I want to write some product descriptions, something that might take quite a long time, especially if you've got hundreds and hundreds of different products. what I want to do is I want ChatGPT to do it for me and save me all of that time of, writing and coming up with the ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy in a prompt that I've created before that have all of the USPs and extra info. So what I can do, first of all, of course, I've selected a GPT, which I can go to if I explore GPTs, search, and then I can search up product description generator or anything, any specific niche use case. So what I can do, so as you can see, this is one that I've done in the past, and this is the prompt that I put in. It's created the description, but let's say I don't like specifically how that is. I can ask it to add the USPs in a bullet point format, for example. And then what it's done is it's created a great product description that I can add into my website. So a specific use case here could be I could have a sheet full of USPs and images or products and stuff like that, and I could add that into ChatGPT, and then it's going to analyze all of that data, and it's going to help me do all of the product descriptions on bulk. So once again, all of these little tasks, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, over time, this is going to save hours and hours, and it's going to create something that it's perfect for what you need it for. Added all the USPs in and everything. So obviously conscious about time. So that was everything that I've got. And yeah, final thing is search. So what you can do is you can actually search just like Google with ChatGPT, and it's going to pull all the sources out. So of course, conscious about time. So back over to you, Dee.
Awesome. Thank you, Luca. Luca, if you can just keep an eye on the waiting room because there's still people joining. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, Luca. I am just going to share my screen again. Okay. Can people see my screen? Awesome. Okay, perfect. So we wanted to provide you with a few additional tips to get the most out of the tool. I've seen people are asking questions in the chat. We'll get to as many of those questions as possible, but also do feel free to, connect with us on LinkedIn and fire us questions as well if we can't get to them. But like I said, yeah, we really want to provide you all with a few additional tips to help you get the most out of your ChatGPT. So like I was saying before, some of you might have asked ChatGPT to do something for you and got a bit of a rubbish response, something which you weren't looking for or left you kind of asking and prompting it again and again. A really quick tip, if you really want to kind of elevate your marketing with ChatGPT, is to use what we call custom instructions. So this allows you to really tailor the AI's response to better fit your specific business or your specific task. So what you need to do is you can come into the top right of your ChatGPT and hit the profile icon and then go customize ChatGPT. Basically, this is where you're telling ChatGPT about yourself to get better, more kind of personalized responses. So, you can give it your name and what you do. That might be, head of digital, for example, me. And in that third box, you really want to give ChatGPT a kind of persona. So tell it how you want it to respond. So, for example, you might be an expert digital marketing manager specializing in cybersecurity, for example. You might want to even give it some kind of brand guidelines too. For example, a lot of the time people might prompt and get American English back, but you always then need to change that to British English. Even by doing those kind of tiny elements in those custom instructions allows you to get better responses from ChatGPT. And then in this fourth box here, you want to give ChatGPT all the information it needs about your company and your mission. So that might be your brand values, industry specific terms, any background context. And really by adding those custom instructions within your ChatGPT account, you're effectively telling ChatGPT what to consider before it even generates a response for you. And ChatGPT basically then considers all of those custom instructions for every conversation you have with it moving forward. And you don't have to kind of repeat yourself in every kind of conversation. And, that's just one kind of simple fix that could save you hours and hours of prompting in ChatGPT. Aside from kind of custom instructions, how do you become kind of a prompt pro in ChatGPT? Based on the kind of extensive training and exposure that the team have had at Wagada to AI tools since the release of ChatGPT, we developed this kind of prompt template that's made up of 6 steps. So whenever I speak to clients or other team members and they feel like they're not getting what they need out of ChatGPT, 99.9% of the time, it's because they're not prompting it effectively. So I'd really encourage you guys, you can go away and download this sheet and use this when you're prompting ChatGPT. You'll get much better responses. So for example, you might be asking it something at the moment like, give me an outline for a phishing attacks blog. Versus if you use our prompt template, you'll give it a much better kind of scenario and mission to go away and give you something that's very tailored to what you want. For example, I can see here, I want it to have 4 separate sections. It must have a title. It must have a call to action. Without kind of explicitly stating that to ChatGPT, you might not get something that is relevant for you. And then there are also some really good prompts that I would go away and recommend you try. So this first one, for example, from now on, I would like you to ask me questions whenever I ask you to complete a task. When you have enough information, go ahead and complete that task. Basically, what we're saying here is we're ensuring that ChatGPT has the full context and information it requires to complete that task to the best of its abilities. So that allows you to prompt it with any missing information that you might not have had originally in your original prompt. Second one here, from now on, when I prompt you, maybe suggest a better prompt that I can use when you go away and do that task. That will also help you in training to kind of craft the perfect prompt to achieve the best output from the tool. So, I use ChatGPT all the time to help me with prompting as well. And then number 3, when you provide an answer, please explain the reasoning and assumptions behind your response. We always recommend kind of fact checking outputs from AI tools. They can sometimes hallucinate or be factually incorrect. This prompt really helps ChatGPT kind of break down how it came to a specific conclusion. You can ask it for where it's cited certain sources or where it found that information, so you can then go away and actually fact check that. And, I'm obviously conscious of time, but, ChatGPT really is just the tip of the language AI iceberg. There's so many more tools out there to explore. So similar to kind of ChatGPT, you have Gemini by Google, which was formerly called Bard. You have Claude by Anthropic. That's more kind of superior, I'd say, for financial businesses. But you also have Microsoft Copilot. So there's other tools that, we definitely recommend going away and testing. But, ChatGPT really is a great tool and kind of does what we need it to do, essentially. I also saw in the comments someone asking about privacy and security. So I'd say that with any AI tool, a user really must be aware of, the cyber risks that comes with. So, I'd say there's 2 kind of key risks that you need to be aware of there in terms of data privacy. So tools like ChatGPT, might store and use the data that you input for training purposes. And, that poses risk, especially if, inputting sensitive or kind of confidential information. You're essentially giving confidential information to a third party who you don't know can guarantee can kind of keep that confidential and safe. And also, security vulnerabilities. So, AI systems can potentially be exploited by hackers. That might lead to data breaches, non-compliance like GDPR. I'd really recommend that you have an AI policy in place in your business to ensure that, you know your employees are utilizing the tools in the correct manner. Do you know exactly what your employees are using in terms of tools? Have they just signed up for ChatGPT and are they putting information in there? I'd really have a policy that sets out how you want those employees to be using the tool. A quick little tip. If you're interested in kind of what data a ChatGPT currently holds on you, you can navigate to your settings, and you can basically request a copy of your data. But also you can here ask OpenAI to stop training its model on your data. So I definitely recommend you switch that off. It's automatically switched on and you need to go in and switch it off. I'd probably recommend just going in there, once a month and checking that no one's toggled that on. But essentially, by toggling that off, you're basically saying to ChatGPT, don't use the data that I input to train your model. And also you can navigate to this URL here when you're signed into your ChatGPT. And like I said, you can request that ChatGPT removes any data that it has on you, or you can also, download the data it has and have a look to see what it's had access to. Another kind of big topic that always comes up when we're discussing AI tools is things like plagiarism and copyright. So basically, because AI tools kind of learn from existing data across the internet, AI generated content that they produce might inadvertently kind of replicate existing human generated content. That being said, tools like ChatGPT don't just scrape and copy, content on the internet. They do generate, an original answer each time when they're prompted. However, as far as we're told, there's no real kind of single law on AI copyright, and it really kind of depends where your business is operating. So in the UK, legal institutions are actively kind of adapting to the challenges that are posed by AI. But because the AI space is evolving so rapidly, the law really can't keep up, and it's a bit of a grey area at the moment. So the UK takes a slightly different approach to the US when it comes to kind of AI generated works. So in the US, when we ask, kind of prompt alone secure copyright, they say, no, not really. It's not enough to qualify as human authorship. And unless a human makes significant creative contributions to what that tool has given you, then you can't effectively copyright it. So essentially what we're saying there is, if you use ChatGPT, you prompt it to create a blog and you just copy and paste that blog and put it on your website, essentially, I would say that there's copyright grey areas where if you are doing that, and that's something we 100% would not recommend anyway. We'd always recommend that there are, human contributions that have been made to anything that an AI has outputted. So we'll send around the slides afterwards, and you can have a look through these kind of copyright laws here. But like I said, because the space is moving so rapidly, it's so hard to police at the moment, and it's a bit of a grey area. What I would say in terms of avoiding AI plagiarism, like I said, always make sure you human and fact checked and rewrite kind of any AI generated text in your own words. That's really a must. And if you're using AI, it's really best practice to kind of disclose that and even cite the sources of where you might have found that information. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So that was ChatGPT. Obviously, happy to answer any questions in the Q&A, and also offline if people need to. So moving on, we were really also keen to showcase HubSpot in our AI tool showcase today. So HubSpot is basically a CRM tool that kind of goes beyond just managing kind of contacts. It's now very much an AI powered, with the launch of what we call HubSpot Breeze, which is back in September 2024. So basically Breeze is HubSpot's AI that kind of powers the entire kind of customer platform there. So there's three kind of main features within HubSpot Breeze. So number one, we have Breeze Copilot. So that's to assist with kind of various tasks. It's basically like a virtual assistant like ChatGPT that works with you wherever you go in your HubSpot. We also have Breeze Intelligence. So this is kind of used to enrich the data that you have in your CRM. And we also have Breeze agents. So these are, there's 4 kind of key agents that help automate manual tasks for you, and also go as far as performing actions on your behalf if you want them to. There's many AI capabilities within HubSpot, and we actually did a separate webinar just on HubSpot Breeze, which I'd recommend you kind of go away and look at. But given the time constraints, I really wanted to focus on the kind of sales side of things in HubSpot today. So let's kick off with Copilot. So basically, this is kind of like I said, a conversational AI tool in HubSpot that acts as like a virtual assistant for you across sales, marketing, service, etc. You can see a kind of list of use cases bulleted here. So, you can very much like start a chat, very much like ChatGPT, but it also give you some kind of specific prompts that you can go away and click. For example, I might want to quickly add a new contact into my CRM, and it can go away and do that. Or I might want it to research some competitors for me, or even summarize a company that I might have in my CRM. Essentially, it's like ChatGPT, but because it's trained on all the business data you have within your HubSpot portal, that can become quite a powerful tool for people. So yeah, if we just kind of go into Breeze here. So to get to Copilot, you can click at the top here in the top right, and it will open this kind of new chat window here. Wanted to show you a few little kind of use cases here. So let me quickly play this. So what I am going to do now is I'm in my CRM. I'm going to click here, Summarize Contact with Copilot. So rather than kind of clicking into each record and manually getting all of the data, what Copilot's going to do for me here is summarize that contact. So it's giving me all the kind of Fred Flintstone's important data, any engagement he's had, any deals he's been in. I can dig deeper into that data, even then get it to draft an email for me or set up a task. So I'm going to go here and say, call Fred on Friday, and it will do that for me. Another use case here, so I'm in like a ChatGPT interface here, and I'm going to go and get it to create a landing page copy for an upcoming webinar I have. Basically, that's going to then go away and create all of that data for me. It's very much an AI kind of copywriting assistance that I have directly in HubSpot that's directly got access to all of my CRM data. And then also, I might ask Copilot directly, I want to view all of my CRM data to identify the top sellers in 2025 for my business. Who closed the most deals in 2024? Copilot will go away, look at all your data in your CRM and give you that data essentially, rather than people having to, manually go away and identify all of that data. It's quite a powerful tool for, salespeople to be able to get information at the touch of a button, really. As well as kind of Copilot, we also have what we call Breeze Intelligence, which is another kind of AI tool within HubSpot. So this kind of tool functions by enriching the data that you already have in your CRM. So it basically works by integrating data from kind of public sources, third-party vendors, any online interactions to really enhance your company's records. So, it can help you identify target markets, assess kind of website visitor intent, maintain and update CRM data, all things that are really extremely important for kind of sales teams. So just looking at Breeze Intelligence and their data enrichment tool. So, whenever there's missing gaps in your contacts records. So for example, you might have data in your CRM and you only have that person's name and their email address. What the data enrichment tool is, it will go away and you can enrich any record, and it will basically populate that deal and that record with all of the information it can find online. So, someone's the role of that contact, their location, their social profiles. Basically, Breeze goes away and does all of that for you. So not only does that keep, your CRM up to date without spending loads of time manually researching and filling in the gaps, it also really helps teams kind of better understand your customers. That allows for more personalized interactions, which plays a big part in, securing new customers. Ultimately, it gives you, the context you need to convert your best opportunities, essentially. As well as the previous tool, we also have Breeze Intelligence's buyer intent tool, which is another great tool. So basically what this does is uses AI to help you understand which visitors are most likely to become customers by analyzing their behavior. So basically what it can do is it can track which companies are visiting your site and what they're engaging with, whether that's potentially like a pricing page or a contact page. And what that will then do is it'll rank and kind of flag visitors based on their activity. So it shows your sales teams the ones that have the highest intent. So you can set up automated lead scoring based on things like company size, revenue, role. And basically what Breeze will do is it will flag all of that data to your sales team to get them to go away and immediately kind of follow up with those companies. Really allows sales teams to be super efficient with their time. Finally, we also have, so in addition to Copilot and Breeze Intelligence, we also have Breeze agents. So basically, these are agents that are designed to kind of automate manual tasks for you and go away and perform actions on your behalf, which is a kind of little bit, some people are a little bit scared of that, but it also could save you tons and tons of time. So it's basically like having your own virtual kind of PA in your role. So there's 4 agents that HubSpot have released. So we have a social agent that basically can help you go away and create social media content. And we have a content agent which produces a whole range of content, things like landing pages, blogs. We also have a prospecting agent which has been designed to kind of enhance your sales prospecting efforts. And then we also have a customer agent, which is basically, the creation of your very own kind of customer service chatbot and, support ticketing help, essentially. So let's kind of dive into the elements of the prospecting agent, which is, very much designed to support sales teams. So, we know that sales teams often struggle with, time-consuming nature of prospecting. They spend hours looking for potential customers that match your company's ideal profile. Basically, Breeze's prospecting agent effectively does this for you. So it uses AI to identify and prioritize kind of top prospects in your CRM, ones that exactly match your target persona. And you can define that specifically within HubSpot. So effectively, you can empower your sales team to focus on high quality leads that are more likely to convert into paying customers. And, you're spending less time on leads that are not powerful versus leads that are really going to, move the needle. Similarly as well, sales team really often struggle with, the time-consuming nature of crafting, personalized outreach, whether that's sending emails or following up on leads. As well as being time-consuming, traditional kind of bulk emails really means losing that personal touch, and it leads to ineffective kind of cold outreach. If you want it to, Breeze's prospecting agent can effectively outreach for you. So it basically kind of looks for signals of intent and activity within your contacts, and then kind of crafts personalized emails using its research and context from your CRM, and then reaches out to those people at the right time. So you can either do that manually, or you can use Breeze to support you with that, or even make that automatic, and you can go in and edit emails as you need to, or or let Breeze do that for you. So again, something that's really powerful for sales teams to make sure you're finding the right leads, but also then spending the time on the right leads as well. So we've obviously covered ChatGPT and HubSpot. We now wanted to move on to image AI. So people who are looking to take advantage of image AI can really help them support with, creating unique visuals for their websites. So, think, banner images for your website, blog images, infographics, etc., posts for social media. You can even go as far as, branding, creating icons, elements like that. And also think about creating, variations of product prototypes. So, visualizing concepts before, physical production, essentially. So I'm going to hand over to Luca, who's going to do a little live demo in Midjourney.
Thank you, Dee. So let's just make sure everyone can see that. So can everyone see my screen? I think
Yeah.
it should be all good. Okay, perfect. So Midjourney might be a tool that you haven't used yet, as it is a paid tool, but essentially this is the leading AI image generation tool, and essentially this is where you're going to be able to put in prompts and Midjourney will be able to generate images, like for example, a few that I've created here. And if you do go ahead and use Midjourney, you've got two different options. You could either use it through Discord or through their main website. I'd always recommend using it through their main website as it's much easier to use, as I'm going to show right now. So let's get right into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a very simple prompt. So I just want to create a parakeet, something that you might when you first start using Midjourney, you might just put in something simple like this. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and it's going to generate 4 different images based on the prompt that has been put in. And also, when you're in Midjourney, you can go up into the settings and you can change the image size, change the stylization, the variety of the image. And as you can see, here we have 4 very different sort of images of a parakeet. Apart from these two, they look very similar. But yeah, essentially putting in a very simple prompt, you're going to get something that isn't necessarily so specific, something that you might want to use, but not necessarily exactly what you envisioned. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put in a much better prompt. So a realistic close-up of a green parakeet with a little party hat on in the jungle, taken with a professional DSLR camera with a 50mm f2.8 lens. So what I've done
Just
here,
Luca, can you just pull your mic up a little bit? Yeah.
yes, okay. So what I've done here is I've put in a much more specific image, something that potentially isn't possible in real life, unless you can get a pie out on a parakeet, but I think that'd be quite difficult. But yeah, so what I've done here, I've created a much more descriptive prompt, and I've received something that is much more to my liking. And I could use this in social media. We're going to show in a couple of slides how we've used it for clients in the past, and also this could be used in presentations. So in this presentation that we've just been going through, a lot of the images were actually created with AI. So yeah, it provides you a lot more creativity and ability to just make your imagination go wild, I suppose. So as you can see, I've created a few portrait images, but let's say I want to change that and make it, I might want to make this landscape. So what I can do is I can click into one of the images, I can go over to more, and I can go onto the editor. And this is going to allow me to edit this specific image by using prompts, or if I just want to expand the image to make it a different aspect ratio, what I can do is I can just expand that out with the nodes on the side, and I can submit that. And what it's going to do is it's going to change aspect ratio using AI to expand it. And you can do this with normal images as well. So let's say you've got a real image of someone and you want to make it landscape. You can do that by adding that into the editor on the left here. So 4 different responses, and it's created something that I might want to put into presentation, use it as a blog image, anything of the sort. So that was just using the normal prompt box. And I did see in the comments people were mentioning our avatars. So what I can't actually access it at the top, but pretty much we did create all of those avatars within Midjourney, and we used images of the team to reference it. And I use a prompt, so I dragged in an image of myself, for example, and then I put in the prompt to make it like a Pixar version, and it created that for you. So what we're going to show after in a couple slides is we've got some of the examples that we've created in Midjourney of our team. So, of course, conscious of time, and we've only got about 10 minutes for questions and stuff like that. So I'm going to hand back over to Dee, just a quick example of
Awesome.
Midjourney.
Perfect. Thanks, Luca. There's some quite good questions in the chat on Midjourney, so we'll get to those at the end. So let me just share my screen again. Can everyone see my screen again? Hopefully. Awesome. Perfect. So very much like ChatGPT, based on the training and kind of exposure our team have had to different AI tools, different image AI tools, we developed also a kind of prompt template that can help you guys go away and get the most out of a tool like Midjourney. So very much like ChatGPT, the output that you get is based on the prompt that you give it. So, you know, if you give it a very basic prompt, you'll probably get a very basic image back or something that doesn't quite fit your imagination. Whereas if you're able to be a lot more descriptive with your prompt and follow these guidelines here, you'll get something that you are actually visualizing. Another quick few important bits on Midjourney. So always try and when you're prompting it, kind of place important words towards the beginning of your prompt. And basically Midjourney will then kind of prioritize and weight those with high importance. And also if, like Luca said, if you want to replicate a certain style of image or a character, you can drag images into Midjourney and then select character and style reference, and that will basically allow you to create multiple images in a style that you want, for example. So one kind of really good use case for Midjourney is, you know, people are very used to sourcing stock imagery. But let's say, for example, as Wagada, we want to have a very specific brand visual that we want to use across our website on socials, for example. We can reference a certain style of image and then create, you know, banners, blog images, social media post images that can be all used in that reference of style, so that someone, a team member who's uploading a blog, you know, won't upload a very generic stock image that isn't on brand, for example. And I always get this question of like, why use AI imagery? And I think there's 3 key reasons. So one, you know, it saves you tons and tons of time spent kind of trawling through loads of stock image websites, trying to find exactly what you need or what you're visualizing. And also, you know, it really allows you to generate kind of diverse visuals that are tailored to a specific campaign. So, you know, your images are completely unique. Anything that I prompt Midjourney, I'll get something different than when Luca prompts it, for example. You know, I'm getting a very unique image. And also it's kind of more cost effective potentially than traditional methods. So a Midjourney subscription is as little as $10 a month, which is kind of an easy substitute for a stock image subscription. You know, you might be paying £50 for an image on its own. There are things to be aware of, which we maybe can touch on in some of the questions in terms of like commercial use. So do go away and look at previous webinars and elements like that where we touch on, you know, can you go and use all of these images on your social posts on your blog for free? You need a certain level of subscription in Midjourney to be able to go away and do that. So I'd always recommend before you go away and, you know, create all of this stuff using AI tools, look at the policies on their websites of, commercial use terms, security terms, and copyright terms. So just to show you some kind of examples, so a client of ours, very much like me at Wagada, I hate being in front of the camera, even though I'm on a 1-hour webinar, but it allows us to bring kind of a brand to life with people without having to use people in the business. So if it's really difficult for you to get your team to engage in photography sessions, or get involved in social media, Midjourney is a way for you to be able to do that. And also, it's a way to inject some kind of personality and fun into your website or social media. So, for example, like Luca was saying, we used Midjourney by inputting team members into Midjourney, photographs of team members, and then creating a kind of Pixar version of them that could be used, on our website and social media in kind of pitch decks and webinars and bits like that. It's kind of a fun way to go away and do that. Much like ChatGPT, Midjourney is just one image AI tool, and it might not be right for everyone. So there's lots of tools you can go away and explore. I think I saw someone ask about Canva. So Canva does have an image AI generation tool, but I'd say that the quality of Midjourney is much better than Canva. That's not to say that Canva might at some point, be up to speed. But if you're wanting very quality images for a specific use case, I'd say Midjourney is kind of a more advanced tool there. So appreciate there's been a kind of a lot to take in there and a lot to learn, and we've had to kind of whiz through things and only kind of touch on 3 kind of core key tools there. But we really hope that was useful. I kind of just wanted to leave people with this, which is a little bit scary, but also quite enlightening, in that, today's AI is the least capable AI you will ever use. And the technology isn't slowing down, it's only accelerating. I really like to reference this quote. So it's from Paul Reitzer, who's the founder and CEO of the Marketing AI Institute, which I'd really recommend you guys go away and check out. They do a really great podcast that's kind of up to date with the latest trends in AI. But he says that AI won't replace marketers, but marketers who use AI will replace marketers who don't. And I think that's true for any role, to be honest. And, whilst that may seem scary, I think it highlights that, as marketers and business leaders, we need to embrace AI. It's not going away. The sooner you can get to grips with it and expand your knowledge, the sooner you and your business may benefit. If you do get time, it would be amazing if everyone could fill in this little questionnaire. Basically, this just helps us keep track of where our audiences are in terms of their AI journey, and also gives you the opportunity to request future webinar topics or any, topics on tools that you want us to cover that are specific to people's needs. So like I said, we're very open to delivering more AI webinars on topics that, or tools that are very specific to your businesses. But also feel free to connect with Luca and I on LinkedIn as well and shoot us any messages or request any upcoming webinars. Just in terms of other AI resources here, so you can go onto our website, and we also have a free template that will help you map out use cases for AI, which is something I think is super important, and will help save you time. So, rather than spending lots of time testing loads of tools, I'd really make sure that you have the right use case and the right tool before you go away and spend loads of time looking at that. We also have those resources there on ChatGPT prompting and Midjourney prompting as well. This is another great little tool, a website that helps you find AI tools. So you can put in a very specific use case, for example, email subject lines, and it will spit you out a load of AI tools that are relevant for that use case. And like I said earlier, this is a really great podcast from Paul Reitzer at the Marketing AI Institute, and that I'd really recommend going and listening to. just in terms of kind of what we can offer if anyone is interested in AI marketing services. So we can offer AI training and upskilling for your team. So really help your team understand how AI can enhance, your business's efforts. So we can provide any AI tool training, effective prompt training, um, help you understand ethical AI and industry best practices. But we can also help you integrate AI tools within your business as well. So help you assess, the current digital ecosystem and identify any AI opportunities that arise there. And also, we offer AI consultancy and marketing for sales, for marketing and sales. Um, if there are any users of HubSpot, we offer a free HubSpot spot check too. So if you want to talk more about like HubSpot Breeze or you're in need of a CRM, we'd be happy to help in that area as well. This spot check, it's completely free and designed to kind of reveal untapped potential of your HubSpot subscription. And then finally, before we move on to a quick Q&A, we've got another upcoming webinar on the 27th of March for content strategy for B2B businesses. And maybe we can move on to questions now, Luca, if we've got any in the chat. I did write down a few, Luca, earlier that I saw. So Maria was asking, how does deep research differ from a normal prompt?
Yeah, so essentially what the function of deep research is that ChatGPT is actually going to go ahead and search across the internet. Once again, still differing from Search GPT. What it does is it's sort of trained to create reports and reference like loads of different sources. So yeah, when you're doing it, I believe it is only for the paid version, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time to sort of collate all of the information. And it's really useful for just getting loads and loads of different sources and points of view for a certain topic.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Luca. And then a few questions on Midjourney as well. So with Midjourney, can you ask it for specific buildings? Like loads of questions around, can you specify a particular, like building or object?
Yeah, so you can reference certain buildings, but the thing with Midjourney is essentially it collates loads of different images and training data from its data set essentially, but it won't be able to replicate exact buildings or locations. So in terms of accuracy on that sense, I wouldn't say um, using it to try and like replicate real life places. I did also see the question about why did I specify the camera, and that's because essentially Midjourney can recognize photography terms, and a lot of its training data is based off real images. So referencing cameras will allow you to like replicate the effect that that camera has
Mhm.
with the AI generation. So yeah.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I also spotted a question on are the copyright laws the same for like image generation versus ChatGPT? So I'd really recommend you go and check out the like policies on every AI tool. So for example, Midjourney is trained on images. However, if you want to then go and use those images on your site, you need a commercial use, right? So you need a certain subscription of ChatGPT to be able to use those images, on your website or in social media posts, etc. There's always elements to be aware of in terms of AI tools and how have they trained their models. So in other previous webinars that we've created, we give you a list of kind of questions that you need to be asking AI vendors whenever you sign up to a new AI tool. And one of those is, how have you trained your model? Where are you getting all your training data from? There's been tools like, I think it was DALL-E, which is another AI image generation tool, which was found out to have trained all of its data on Getty images, which are paid images, which is obviously extremely naughty and not the way to go. So, you've got to be aware of where that AI tool is getting its training data from. Midjourney does say that you can go and use those images wherever you want, as long as you have the right subscription model for that use case. Is there any more in there, Luca?
We did just get one in about confidential customer
Confidential
data.
customer data. Did you mean that if we update settings, it's to upload the customer names? So if you use ChatGPT, I'd recommend again looking at their policies. So you can go in and tell ChatGPT to not train on your data. It's kind of like a catch-22 though, right? So, do you 100% believe ChatGPT? I'm not entirely sure. So it really depends on your business's AI policy. So, what are you comfortable uploading into ChatGPT? If you are not training the model, I'd suggest, you can go away and do that. However, you've really got to be aware of what other staff members are uploading into that as well. Yeah, it kind of depends on where you stand with your ethics in the company. Awesome.
There was just another one I just saw,
Yeah.
Midjourney for professional photo generation for headshots. The main issue with Midjourney is that you could drag in an image of a person, but it will never be able to use specifically that image to like recreate that person exactly. So there's an issue of accuracy there, but you could always put an image into Midjourney into the edit section and ask it to potentially change the background, but definitely it's not quite there yet with replicating exact individuals or people.
Awesome. Perfect. We're out of time, guys, unfortunately, but thank you so much, everyone. It was super useful. And it's always great to kind of get questions and back kind of ideas back and forth. But do feel free to connect with Luke and I on LinkedIn and ask us any questions off the back of the webinar. And very open to additional topics. It's always really hard to cover everything in an hour-long session. So, we're open to doing even longer sessions or very niche specific sessions on, even, concerns around copyright. I could talk an hour for that, to be honest. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate that. And nearly the weekend. So hopefully you're all going to have a great weekend and we shall see you soon.